up, all my fight fans? So, I have a few questions for you, Sean O'Malley fans out there. First question is, who should Sean O'Malley's title defense, his first title fight, be against? You got Merab, you got Chito Vera, you got Henry Cejudo, and you got Corey Sandhagen. Well, let's go through that. See, right now I know a lot of people are thinking about Chito Vera possibly. Chito Vera just came off a really good victory over Pedro Munoz um, this couple weekends ago in UFC 292. But he did lose to Corey Sandhagen. Now, Corey Sandhagen, he definitely deserves a title shot. He's been up there. He's been winning a couple of good fights and whatnot. And he's been making a really, really good case for that title shot. But we do know he is injured. I believe he tore his tricep or his shoulder or something like that. And he said it's going to be about 6 months for him to be cleared to fight. So more likely a year, we should say, because it's about 6 months to be cleared, then about 3 months or so to train. So it's more likely a year. So he's out, completely out. So that pretty much leaves Chito Vera in. You got Merab. Now Merab, he's definitely number one contender. The guy's been pretty much been beating up everybody he's been in the ring with, or excuse me, the octagon with. He took out Jose Aldo, and the biggest win that he had, he was able to take out Peter Yan. Very impressively, as a matter of fact. So he's definitely in there. We know he has a little injury to his hand as well. We don't know any updates regarding that injury, so it's yet to be seen. So that leaves him in there for the time being, depending on how serious his injury is. Henry Cejudo, who was definitely I guess in some way, the second star of the division. At first, at one time, he was the first star, but now Sean O'Malley being very popular now, being the champion now, and creating a big name for himself, definitely the star of the division, for sure. But he did lose a very, very close decision to the former champion, Aljamain Sterling. Well, does that give him another title shot? It's hard. Because depending on Merab's health and depending on if they want to give this rematch, note to self, this is also a rematch for Chito Vera if he just so happens to get it, because he does have a victory. Wasn't very much of a satisfying victory, but a victory nonetheless over Sean O'Malley. Because at the end of the day, my next question is going to be, who is the most popular of all these guys? Merab doesn't necessarily have a big fan base. Henry Cejudo, let's not also forget that he also does have a little bit of an injury. I believe it's to his shoulder. Again, we do not know the seriousness to this shoulder injury, so that's where we're going to keep him in this list. But he is also the most famous regarding the division outside of Sean O'Malley. Chito Vera has a little bit of a name. Chito Vera has a little bit of a following. So that kind of keeps him in there. Merab, he does earn the shot, but does he have that popularity to back it up? Not necessarily, so you want to kind of scoot him back down the line. So now it really is between Chito Vera and Henry Cejudo. Hold on, guys. There's a little bit of a wild card because Aljamain Sterling has said that he wants to get another crack at him. But first, before we get into the whole but, Aljamain definitely deserves another shot because he has defended the belt 3 times. 3 successful title defenses, so that does kind of earn him a shot. But now here's the but. He wasn't in the best, I guess he wasn't best friends with the company's owner, Dana White, or the company's president, Dana White, and wasn't necessarily their favorite champion. You know, he had some really good title defenses, but it wasn't necessarily anything that was going to, knock your socks off, blow your hair back, whatever you want to use. So I don't see them personally want to give him another shot. Now, as far as Aljamain's popularity goes, his popularity did grow, but definitely wasn't breaking any numbers, wasn't breaking any records regarding his title defenses and his pay-per-view draw. So we kind of want to put him right there next to Merab. Even though he deserves it, it's just, it doesn't really, I can't necessarily see it happen. It just feels like they wanted to get rid of Aljamain from that championship so he can go up at featherweight, because that also brings up another but, that the fact that Aljamain Sterling wants another title shot, and let's just say hypothetically he does get another title shot, and let's just say hypothetically he wins that title again. Does that mean he's gonna vacate that belt just so his friend Marab could get that belt? See what I'm saying? So that's what the UFC is gonna be really thinking, that like, do we really necessarily want to give this guy another title shot just so he could vacate it? So because he does not want to fight his friend Marab? Don't think that's gonna happen. So that pretty much leaves to two options: Chito Vera and Henry Cejudo. The only reason why I keep Henry Cejudo in there, because he is such a big popular name. These guys, the market that these guys would, or excuse me, the promotion that these guys would build, the way they would promote this fight between Sean O'Malley and Henry Cejudo would be big. Just like Chito Vera, it would be slightly big, but I feel like Henry Cejudo would be just a little bit bigger. Just a little bit. And it'll be a very tough fight for Sean O'Malley, because we already know what a great wrestler Henry Cejudo is. And he's also a really good striker. He doesn't have the size advantage, obviously, and he doesn't have the length advantage, obviously. So it's going to be a little bit of a tough fight for these guys. For Henry Cejudo, I should say. But at the end of the day, he has been in there with some really tough customers. He did make a very split decision fight with Aljamain Sterling, so it will definitely be a very tough fight nonetheless. But the really decision's up to everybody else, or decisions up to the UFC. But I'm asking you guys, who do you think is going to be? Me personally, I feel like they're going to give it to, I got to say, Chito Vera. I got to say, even though I kind of talked big up for Henry Cejudo, but I got to say Chito Vera, because Chito Vera and Sean O'Malley do have history. Chito Vera does have a little bit of a following, has been building up a little bit more of a following. Chito Vera can trash talk with Sean O'Malley, and Sean O'Malley has already trash talked Chito Vera multiple times, including the press conferences for UFC 292. So yes, this would actually be a very, very good matchup for these guys to have. So guys, let me know in the comments on what you think Sean O'Malley should do. What do you think his first matchup should be against? And let me know if this fight is even going to take place this year, at the end of the year, in December, Las Vegas. Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.